Enforcer.
I believe they're called enforcers, Gordon.
I sell women's shoes.
And the Stallion.
Stallion, baby! I am not what you would call a handsome man. I'll kick you in the nuts and you'll smile at me and like it. Oh, nuts!
Through rain, nor sleet, nor snow, nor hail, nothing can stop the All Night Long Wrestling podcast from delivering to the fans. I am tight that just your host, the Enforcer. He is your host, one half of the Stallion, and we are back with this week's episode of the All Night Long Wrestling podcast. I'd like to let everybody know that roughly 7:15 this morning, the Stallion was rear-ended by... What kind of car was it?
It was a Dodge. I don't know what kind of Dodge it was. I was going to say a Ram because it seems appropriate for what happened today.
Yeah. So this guy here, he's driving to work. He's waking up, not wanting to go to work. He's got to go 30 minutes further west because a couple of chicharroos had him going to this special meeting today, and 7 o'clock in the morning, he gets rammed in the ass. And the cops are called and everything on good old Sunrise Highway, which isn't a busy street, so I'm sure it was fine.
No, there were no cars on the road.
7 a.m.?
Yeah, no.
Middle of rush hour, Long Island, New York? No. So this guy takes a ram from behind, and car's totaled. He's and what is he doing? 12 hours later? He's sitting here delivering to you, the people, our people. So I'd like to appreciate you,
I appreciate that. I mean, I think hospital beds are overrated. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, it sucks you died before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm back now.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. And,
you're like Paige's career, right? Actually, there's a ram from behind joke in there that I'm not going to make it.
All sorts of tie-ins there. I think it can be made with that. Yeah, we're here. I mean, I'm down.
Never mind. I'm not. I was kidding.
I'm down a car, I guess.
Okay.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how many pieces my neck is in right now, but
good news is I have a chiropractor that I could send you to.
That sounds great. I think that's
Yeah. The only problem with my chiropractor is it costs me $40 a visit, and because of I'm in such bad shape, it's 3 visits a week, $120 a week. I can't do math. 52 weeks out of the year. What's 52 times 40? 2,000, give or take, roughly?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that times 3?
6,000.
About $7,000 a year in chiropractic. That's normal, right?
That's one way to go.
I'm 30, you're 29, so it's, 30-year-old guy, 29-year-old guy, we should definitely have this many problems at our age, huh?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, I still think I should put you in a torture rack, and then we could sue Del Rio, whatever the guy's name was.
I'm looking at the ROH card, and I was like, maybe Hangman Page can help me. I think that would be good. If either I would be hung, and that would just take care of a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Or he could maybe just stretch out my neck a little bit if I just hung in the noose for a few seconds without my neck snapping completely.
Like, what if he locked the noose on you and tossed you over the rope and gave it one tug, not enough to kill you, but just enough to strengthen the C4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, just straighten some things out.
I have a broken freaking back. I've been saying that. I've been Kurt Angling it.
Yeah.
T12, it's broken, fractured. We got to get you to a chiropractor. We got to get some X-rays. We got to see what happens to you.
Probably.
I'm just hoping you're going to be in tip-top shape for Ring of Honor tomorrow.
I hope so. I think as long as we wake up tomorrow and we're mobile and I can drive to work, then
cover your ears. Forget that. Forget work tomorrow, man. If them chicharroos did not make you drive that far, this never would have happened.
That's true. If I wasn't on the road at 7 a.m. this morning, then
I'd like to put them in a torture rack, finish with a burning hammer. How you doing? Huh? Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to you guys about tomorrow night's Ring of Honor War of the Worlds, mainly because we're going to be there, God willing, and secondly, because Raw and SmackDown were atrocious this week. there's really not much to talk about. I would like to talk about NXT, although you can get a chance to watch it. And I did not finish watching Ring of Honor yet. Okay. So it's really going to be probably a Ring of Honor heavy show this week, and then we'll go from there. You want to talk about Raw? You want to start? You want to? No. We'll just glance over it. Raw and SmackDown were taped from, where were they? Milan?
Somewhere in
Italy?
England, I want to
Asia?
say. England, I think it's Europe.
Okay, Sweden.
In the European
they were,
continent.
Yeah, all right. So they were taped there, and usually when they tape shows, they suck. Now, Monday night wasn't bad. I thought Monday Night Raw had some good wrestling to it. Tuesday Night SmackDown I listened to the Taz podcast, and a guy called in from the UK. He called in Wednesday morning, and he had gone to SmackDown the previous night. And the WWE doesn't have maybe once a year they have shows over there.
Yeah, I think probably one main tour a year.
Yeah,
right? Like
with TV shows.
Time. Yes,
and this guy's like, he hasn't been there in a year. He's had tickets for a while, and he was excited to go. And he got 4 wrestling matches. And I'm like, that's tough booking, especially when you have a main event on SmackDown that has all of your talent in one match, and Jinder Mahal gets the pin. That's the crux of that whole lambast thing. I guess if you bought a ticket, you'd probably be pretty pissed off. And an underwhelming match between Harper and Rowan, I feel like. Yeah,
which Rowan went over in, I believe.
Yeah, the crowd was just dead though. But then again, UK people suck anyway. No, I'm totally just kidding. I actually like the UK people. I was I was kind of being facetious because usually the UK crowds are very good.
Yes,
they're strong crowds. They're very lively crowds. Even the UK MMA fans, they have Michael Bisping over there, and they're loud the entire time, and they're doing their chants and whatnot. And there was nothing going on SmackDown.
They were cheering pretty well for Breezango, also known as the Fashion Police, the Fashion Popo. They do love the Fandango dance. Yeah.
I also enjoyed their Law and Order SVU segment. Thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I feel like nothing really happened on Monday and Tuesday.
Not
anything
much
stand out to you?
Occurred that seemed significant that I can remember. Strowman made an appearance, right, with his arm in a sling. And then I think Roman Reigns came and beat him up, and they're both. Well, I think Strowman's actually getting some sort of elbow surgery or something in non-kayfabe terms, right? So he actually is a little banged up. So I think that was to write him off TV. So I guess their main program for Raw, which has been Reigns and Strowman, has been temporarily shelved for a little while, and they're just setting up like Miz and Ambrose and Balor and Bray Wyatt, and Joe and Rollins fought on Monday. And I guess that's just going to lead to something else at the next pay-per-view. I don't know.
The next pay-per-view should be called Replay, because it seems like all it does is have rematches from Payback. I still don't get the Miz and Ambrose segment. I liked it. I mean, I liked the... I did like Ambrose in that segment. I don't like the lack of Kurt Angle, though. I don't need a whole show about Kurt Angle. I really don't. But you have like dueling co-GMs. That was kind of weak, I thought. Yeah,
and it was really like oddly set up, right? Like apparently, like Angle called Ambrose and told him he could be in charge, which is like why, and then
Stephanie all of a sudden out of nowhere,
apparently Stephanie called Miz again of all people, like to do why, like.
Yeah,
there was no explanation of why Angle wasn't there, right? Like there wasn't anything.
Nope.
It was just he wasn't there that night, and they decided to have two. Like he couldn't have just made matches from home and said, "All right, we're going to do this, and this on the show." And
or you couldn't have had him conference call in or something like that, or speakerphone. It was very.
I don't know.
I think it was very weak. It was.
It was gimmicky, I guess.
Gimmicky. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. What else happened?
We got a lot of Jinder Mahal action going on, I think, on SmackDown.
Yeah, a lot of Jinder.
No, I think they're just the women's stuff, right? They had Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax seem to have formed like a temporary alliance.
Well, if you look at Instagram, they're like best friends now.
Right.
So, but if you also look at Instagram, Roman and Braun Strowman are also best friends because they were taking pictures outside the Leaning Tower of Pizza.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. Yeah.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, Pepperoni Stromboli. We just alienated all of our Rome listeners.
We're just going for the entire European.
Yeah.
At this point,
forget them. Now, do you have an issue with what was I going to say? An issue with Roman and Braun Strowman in a picture online.
I don't know. I guess it depends, right? Maybe a little bit. I guess I do.
Good, because I think we're old school fans. We're not saying you have to be in your character 24/7, but I just think and you know who tweeted the picture? Titus O'Neil. That dude cannot get himself out of hot water.
Titus Brand, man.
Titus Brand. So yeah, go ahead.
I was trying to. I try to think about sometimes stuff like that from the perspective of what like the PG audience would think of it, right? So if I was maybe like a kid, like if I was 12 or something like that, if I was 12 years old and I had a Facebook or an Instagram or something, and I saw a picture of that, I don't think I'd want to see that. I think that would be confusing to me. To see like, oh, these guys, like if I'm young enough where I still think that what happens in WWE is not new, to realize that it's scripted and like all that stuff, and then I saw a picture online, I'd be like, well, wait a minute, why are Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns, taking a picture like they're best buddies when I just watched them, toss each other into an ambulance last week or whatever it was? Like that would be confusing to me. So I think that you still have to keep some level of reality to it in terms of making the guys that are on screen feuding not.
And it's not even like it's a feud where it's like they respect each other. It's like a blood feud kind of thing. So I think that just makes it far worse. And I agree with you on that one completely. Yeah. Aside from that, I mean, you had the Joe Rollins stuff, which we're probably going to get some sort of gimmick match now.
Yeah, because the next Raw show is Extreme Rules, right? So there are probably going to be a lot of gimmick matches on that show. I think they were going to do Strowman and Reigns in an ambulance match.
Yeah, we talked about. I think we predicted
we
that.
We did predict that, and then that was what was supposed to happen. But I think that's now off the table. I don't know what the rest of, like you said, Joe and Rollins will do something, and Bray and Balor will do something, and I guess Enzo and Cass, the Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro will have a match, and Aries and Neville will probably have another match. I don't know what the gimmicks are going to be for any of those, but
just all rematches.
Yeah, it's a lot of
rematch heavy. The one thing I did like about Monday Night Raw was the tag team turmoil match.
Yeah.
I thought Sheamus and Cesaro came off really strong, but it didn't. The booking part of it didn't make sense because you did all that just to get back to Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I think. Honestly, I think you could have pulled the trigger on Goldust and R-Truth only to tell like the story of Sheamus and Cesaro in that match, probably like 20 out of the 27 minutes. R-Truth and Goldust come in, get the quick pin, let them do their thing, and then build Sheamus and Cesaro back up instead of having that whole thing just to give it back to the guys who got the rematch.
Yeah, it was interesting how they did it, right? Like that, like you said, Sheamus and Cesaro ended up looking pretty strong because they went from start to finish in the gauntlet, right? Essentially,
yeah, they did start it, right?
Yeah, they started, and then they beat everybody basically in the match. I was thinking before it happened that what they would do is have R-Truth and Goldust maybe come in the middle and win like one or two matches somehow, like over whoever else was in it, and get to the end, and Sheamus and Cesaro would be the last team. And then they would just, they would find a way to cheat and beat them as if, like, kind of like making it seem like... Because they built it up as,
like... they're the heels, yeah.
Yeah, and they had built it up as, like, Truth and Goldust, trying to prove themselves and all this type of stuff. Fun fact, actually, that Brian ended up telling me about was, like, remember the week before when they asked Angle for a title shot and he was like, oh, your win-loss record is not, good enough? Like, their win-loss record in 2017, do you want to take a guess on, like, what it is?
What are they, 2-0?
It's like 36-0 or something like that.
Are you serious?
I guess they must win on house shows all the time. I guess I don't really know, but that's what he told me.
Oh,
so
it's like that on TV.
I guess, yeah. It was like, but they must have won like all these matches at house shows, probably like in the opener or whatever it is. I don't know, and like so they haven't actually lost like in the last few months, I guess. So it was a little bit. I thought that was funny, but yeah. But obviously on TV, yeah, they haven't done anything of note. So I thought they were going to do it that way, like give them a win over maybe like one or two teams. They get fans to buy into like, oh, they're really going to do it. They're really going to get